last month, and Michael Ollhof was probably one of the more impressive fighters on the card, a guy that we really didn't expect when we saw him, we saw his opponent. I think we both looked at each other and we were kind of worried a little bit for Michael Ollhof. Nevertheless, he was pretty dominant in the fight. Picked up a second-round TKO win, moving his record up to 1-0. Now looking to go 2-0. A guy who's only 5'5", but a middleweight. So interesting, really, really tough guy here. And he's going to take on Donald Fowler in a middleweight bout. Donald Fowler is 6'2".
That's a big difference in height there, David.
9-inch height advantage and a extremely long reach advantage as well here. But Michael Ollhof is the guy who doesn't back down from a challenge, and he has a challenge of Donald Fowler in front of him here at IT Fight Series 34.
Absolutely.
Ollhof had the fans on their feet back in Columbus, looking to do the same here in Findlay. Going on a tour of the state of Ohio, winning fans over.
Statewide, fans are just going after Michael Ollhof.
I think we were both excited to see him back in the cage here.
Donald Fowler comes in this evening 1-1 as an amateur. Lost his last fight at the same card that Michael Ollhof picked up his amateur debut. He lost to Scott McLean. Prior to that, earlier this year, January to be exact, he picked up his first amateur win in his debut fight against Tavon Hudson. Tonight, he looks to improve his record 2-1 as he meets Michael Ollhof in the middleweight contest.
Fowler had a tough out there in June against Scotty McLean. Scotty is a tough guy with an extensive combat sports background, training with Scott Shealy for a long time. Guy who has a sandshell background, karate, Muay Thai, before he ever got into mixed martial arts. And so that's a tough fight to take in just your second amateur MMA fight. Two guys who I think is going to be a very good, even matchup here in this middleweight bout here at IT Fight Series 34.
Absolutely. We see Donald Fowler again prepared here, standing cage side. Comes into the cage, takes a knee. Of course, he's thanking none other than us here at cage side, David, as we're the only motivation he needs once he steps inside the cage.
Middleweight bout here. Michael Ollhof in the camo, Donald Fowler in the green. Ty Wheeler is your referee in charge, and I believe this probably is might set the record for camo fight shorts on a fight card.
Absolutely. Absolutely. We have Fowler with the UFC trunks. Oh, nice body kick.
Yeah, followed that body kick in with a straight right hand that landed as well as Ollhof gets the body lock, looking for the takedown here up against the cage right in front of us. He releases, goes back in range. Ollhof with the height disadvantage is going to have to get inside here if he wants to strike. Fowler with a kind of a lanky striking style, and he will throw some interesting things. He'll throw some back kicks. He'll throw some front kicks. Ollhof catches his leg and takes him down, and Fowler rolls through it and now is on top. Ollhof looking to escape out the back door. Fowler now in side control, looking to get that crucifix position as he has it. Had it for a second there.
Fowler's what we say in the business, very cocky fighter. Hands
Looking
down, showboating a little bit.
Looking for a key lock here against Ollhof. I think Ollhof is doing a great job of defending it. He needs to get that arm pulled down to Ollhof's side where he can extend it and crank it back. Looks like Ollhof may be able to escape out the back door here as Fowler is a little bit high on him. It looks like that's what he's trying to do.
From this position, I don't think Ollhof's going to be able to get out.
Fowler now looking to try to get that. It's interesting, he has a kind of a half guard here with the long legs of Donald Fowler.
That 9-inch height advantage is a disadvantage for him right now. Oh, Fowler landed some nice heavy shots straight to the face of Ollhof there. Fowler stands back up, lets Ollhof get back to his feet as well.
As Ollhof tried to get back to his feet, Fowler just threw just a big fastball punch from his hips. And it's interesting that he throws from his hips a lot. That's a good way to get countered. Fowler, nice outside leg kick there from Ollhof. Fowler throws a lead right hand that Ollhof blocks. Ollhof is a good, gritty fighter. His guy has pretty good defense, keeps his hands up. Nice knee to the body there from Fowler, but Ollhof follows up with a takedown, dumps him on his back. Ollhof looking to move
Fowler
forward.
wants no part of the ground game, gets right back to his feet, and lets Ollhof stand up too. One thing I noticed here with Fowler, every time he throws a punch or gets hit, he drops his hands.
Yeah, he's dropping his hands really bad on those kicks too when he throws them. Lead right hand there from Donald Fowler. He's got to set that up if he wants spinning back
nice
fist there. He's got to set up that right hand if he wants to land it. Ollhof can see that coming from a mile away, especially with being the longer, lankier fighter. I think that first round probably went to Donald Fowler, but Ollhof showed a little bit there.
You know what, David?
Takedown.
I think we should just quit saying who we thought the round went to.
Which means probably all the judges scored the round for Ollhof if we thought that Fowler won.
Yeah, clearly.
You see Devin Wilson there in the corner of Michael Ollhof. Devin was supposed to be on this card fighting Tim Dunn in a rematch of their fight from the amateur days. Of course, Tim suffered an injury in a boxing match a week ago, unable to compete tonight. Hopefully we'll be able to see that fight. Aaron Garrett told me in September, late September, when IT Fight Series returns back to Lima. Nevertheless, amateur middleweights here, IT Fight Series 34. Michael Ollhof and Donald Fowler in between rounds 1 and 2. Again, both guys looking pretty fresh here, actually.
Absolutely. Fowler is walking around like he's not even phased. Points to the camera, gives him the number one.
And he's so tall, the camera's in our corner. He's actually basically hitting the camera with his head.
And just let everybody know, too, that in the amateur ranks here in Ohio, fighters get 90 seconds in between rounds instead of the standard 60 seconds as the pros do.
Ready to go here, round 2. Michael Ollhof, Donald Fowler. The fighters are going to touch gloves. And Ollhof needs to find a way to get inside on Donald Fowler. He's been unable to do that so far. And he's been paying for it, getting marked up on his face with punches from Fowler. Fowler's a little bit unorthodox, really tough guy to prepare for and a tough guy to fight.
But he's doing a good job of keeping Ollhof at a distance where he's able to utilize his reach advantage to pick away at Ollhof.
Ollhof looks like he's trying to time that right hand. But he needs to start working his jab here a little bit. Fowler doing a good job working his jab. Kind of showboating here a little bit.
It worked. He was able to land that outside leg kick.
Straight jab there from Fowler lands. Another jab. You can see it now. Ollhof is definitely looking to time that jab, and it's probably going to come over with an overhand right. Fowler doing a good job, though, of staying on the outside, picking his shots. Although Fowler is crossing his feet. Bad habit there. Good way to get off balance and get knocked out. Good head movement here from Ollhof. Ollhof looking to go in for a single. Fowler, the taller guy, does a good job of takedown defense. And really when you try to finish a takedown, it's an advantage being the shorter guy. It's easier to get lower, get your hips lower, sink in those legs to get the takedown.
Fowler remains persistent with the takedown attempt, not letting go of the leg. Falls to his back, and Fowler wants no part of that and lets Ollhof stand back up.
Ollhof now has some blood over his left eye here. I think he may have blood coming out of his nose as well, as Fowler's landing
2 jabs
strikes.
in a row he just ate from Fowler.
Interesting to note that Ollhof, every
Down
single
to the
time
body.
when he moves his head, is going to his left. May look for Fowler to time that and throw a right hand off of that jab.
Fowler now teeing off on him, landing some
Opening up
nice
here.
combinations. This time he doesn't let Ollhof back from his feet. Sending over him, raining down
Throwing
these
some
shots.
Big shots here. Ollhof doing a fairly good job, though, of protecting himself.
Absolutely.
Now those punches are getting through, and Ollhof just stands back up as Fowler lets him.
We have 10 seconds left in the round, and now Ollhof is cut on his forehead, bleeding
Yeah,
very
also,
slowly.
Also cut it under that left eye. Now his eye looks like it might be starting to swell up a little bit.
He's taking quite the punishment from Donald Fowler here. He needs to defend these shots here in the third round. And honestly, he needs to finish Fowler, because I don't think he's going to win this fight.
Yeah, I think he is clearly down 2 rounds to none so far. But that's on our scorecards, which don't count.
They do not count.
Ollhof actually looking to be pretty calm and collected in his corner, whereas Fowler looks like he may be a little tired. Maybe wore himself out punching Ollhof too much.
Which that does happen, believe it or not, folks. You can wear yourself out by striking your opponent. It takes a lot to throw those punches over and over and over like he did in the second round there. Now, David, if you were Michael Ollhof here, what would you do in the third round? What would you do differently? Because what you've done so far hasn't worked much in the first rounds.
He's got to try to get this fight to the ground, in my opinion. He's been getting beat up pretty bad on his feet, but he has to be able to time the strikes of Donald Fowler, which, as an unorthodox guy, is really tough to time and to land the takedown. That's probably his best takedown defense, is being unpredictable.
Absolutely. Fowler comes out. Both fighters touch gloves. It does look like there's a left mouse under the left. I'm sorry, there's a mouse under the left eye of Michael Ollhof.
Fowler maybe looking to throw. Yeah, thought he was going to throw a body kick there. Threw an outside leg kick that landed. Ollhof not looking for the takedown at all here, though, which is a little bit surprising, as Fowler showboating a little bit. Like I said, I'm surprised that Ollhof hasn't been throwing that right hand.
Goes with the left, misses completely.
Ollhof's mouth is wide open.
Fowler right now looks like he's just, picking the shots he wants to go for, and so far has connected with every single one of them.
He's on the outside.
Nice signals to the crowd
Picking his
to
shots.
get them excited.
Circling different ways, showboating a little bit here.
Michael Ollhof bleeding from the nose now.
Left
Eats a heavy jab.
Yeah.
I have a feeling 1 or 2 more shots like that and Ollhof will be done.
Ollhof really just not throwing. Fowler again doing a good job staying outside, jumping in, getting out, turning off of his punches perfectly. Setting up combinations now.
Michael's just in a defensive mode. Michael Ollhof, defensive mode, where he's not even trying to attack Fowler at all.
I just noticed that Donald Fowler has the letters MMA shaved into his head.
Yeah, I noticed that, and he has a cage on the opposite side shaved into his head.
And Ollhof is smiling at Donald Fowler, although he is taking a lot of punishment here in this third round.
He is going to be feeling every single one of those shots tomorrow morning when he wakes up.
Right hand lands.
I will have to give it to Ollhof here as he's continues to walk forward after each blow with his now messy, bloody face.
And this round so far has been pretty close to a 10-8 round in my opinion.
Yeah.
Ollhof doing absolutely nothing. Fowler landing some shots.
Now you can see Fowler
Really
completely showboating. Instead of showboating, he just needs to go in there and finish the fight.
Yeah, because with these judges so far, you never know.
Not only that, but you don't want to risk. Never mind. That is the end of the fight, ladies and gentlemen. We are going to our judges' scorecards for the third time this evening. I would say Fowler has this bout wrapped up in his back pocket. But, David, you never know.
And I do think that third round was a 10-8 round for Donald Fowler. So I would score that fight 30-26. As you see, Michael Ollhof bloodied, but not finished.
Bloodied, but not finished. I like that.
Excellent performance, though, from Donald Fowler. As Aaron Garrett, matchmaker for IT Fight Series, gives him a fist bump. Nick Hahn has our official decision. We send it back up to him.
All three judges scored the fight 30-27 for your winner by unanimous decision, Donald Danger Zone Fowler.
For once tonight, David, we are right. 30-27s across the board for Donald Fowler. Fowler telling Ollhof there that, hey, man, I don't care what anybody tells you, but you're tough. You're tough, man. Indeed, he is a tough guy. Fowler taking time to pose with the ring girls.
Oh, yeah, we got your winner, Donald Fowler, right here in the ring. His third time fighting for IT Fight Series. Looking better every time. How you felt this time, buddy?
So good, sir. I want to thank Mr. Michael for taking these little dance on the ladies to work with me. I want to see champion Fowler, baby. I love you. Thank you for working with me. My girls trying to get married, baby. I love you. Thank you.
Oh, he tells the audience that he wants to get married. Points his girl and says, baby, it's time to get married.
I don't know if that was an official proposal or he just maybe threw out the idea. Maybe he wants her to propose to him.
Hey, you never know in this world, in this day and age. It can go either way. But either way, she should hold that. She should hold him to that now. Baby, you proposed to me. Show me that ring.
We're ready to go. One more bout before our amateur main event. We're going to be in the lightweight division here. Ron Brown going to be taking on Corey Swartz. As they're cleaning up the cage after that bloody battle.
There was a lot of blood in that last fight from Michael Ollhof. So it'll take a minute here to clean the cage.